St. Cloud to take care of my aunt for a couple days. I'm just calling myself a traveling nurse right now. Have wheels, will travel.
One of the guys I work with has a daughter who's mid-20s probably, and she does traveling nursing.
Mm-hmm. It's all the money they make. My cousin that just retired from nursing, all but the last, I want to say, 10 years, she's a traveling nurse.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
But
And it's really, to me, it's a sad deal because the people that say they want to settle down in the Sioux Falls area, and I'm an RN, but my contract to either say to the Rivera is way lower
oh
because,
yeah,
you know,
Probably
and so
good for
it's
enough for
really
now.
causing a rip
Do you
in
think we can
medical.
go longer golf course?
It's
That's the
huge.
camera.
I
It's
have
like,
a daughter that guy I work with. She's up in
It's
the
like the
Minneapolis
computer
area.
cord is what's shorting you.
I mean, she could be going anywhere,
Right,
but
yeah,
for the money they make doing that,
Yeah.
my gosh, why
Yeah.
wouldn't you?
well, that's
She
it.
thought she's been doing it for 2 years. She thought by the end of this year, she would
Is that good enough?
have all of her student debt paid off.
it's a little too far.
And, and she's working for a sizable down payment on a house.
Mhm.
And living in a cheap apartment with a roommate and
Mhm.
like, you know, if you're in your early 20s and you can swing that, by
Do
golly.
it. Yes, and my cousin, her daughter, she was a traveling nurse up until 2 years ago when she was diagnosed with MS, so then she decided she better settle that down. So yeah, they do, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's still on the radio. There's like, where I back to the drawing board, there are a lot of issues.
Okay.
I mean, I can present whatever, but it's gonna be most likely changed in a substantial portion, so. If you want help, I'll make a copy of that.
We'll talk about it. So we don't really have anything established of what equals a quorum or anything, right?
I mean, that's why I hope we would have the ordinance like ready.
Right.
But what happened is state law has 2 statutes, and one statute says all covered in the same chapter, but one portion of that is silent as to certain aspects, the other one clearly outlines it. One says Parks Board, for example, supervises all operations of parks, but I think there's also going to be like an advisory long-term citizen engaged board rather than being actively involved in day-to-day operations.
Sure.
So that's like where I sent it to Patrick, and he goes like, "Oh, this got ugly." I'm like, "How bad could it be?" And it was like, red. So
Perfect.
it's just like getting ironed out. But
Patrick's got to earn his money somehow.
yeah, well, I haven't heard back from it. Yeah, I was like, "So how do we get this cleaned up?" I mean, I think either way, you guys would be fine to just operate as is. I mean, what's the worst thing? But to have something in place obviously would be ideal.
Right.
So wasn't for lack of trying.
All right. Well, we might as well get this going. I'll call the meeting to order.
Arstead.
I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Make this as official as we can get it, I guess. Need a motion to approve our posted agenda.
So moved.
I guess I'll second it. Minutes from last month. Elias did those up for us, so we're good to go. Do you want to make a motion to approve those?
Make a motion to approve last month's meeting notes.
And I'll second that. All in favor, aye.
Oh,
So, open comments? Anybody want to yell at me tonight? Come on.
I'll go.
Great.
2 quick things. In Sunset, I would like to request that the fire department do a controlled burn of the drainage ditch.
We can't.
Really?
There's some, I have to say nice things. There's a rule, it's a wetlands.
yeah,
Yeah,
so they're protected.
yeah. I've offered to do it several times, because it's that whole ditch is not conducive to mowing. And, yeah, the DNR said absolutely no way.
Okay.
So I wish there was a way to make that look nicer. But we can't spray, if we could mow it, we could mow it. But we can't spray, we can't burn it.
We plant some
No,
native grasses in there.
there already are, and all that reeds and stuff just absolutely overtakes it. I don't know a better way. I had Chad look into it probably 2 years ago to see if there was something we could do. And he just kept coming into roadblock after roadblock. Tobias, is that something you could look into?
Yeah, I'll look into it, but usually with wetlands,
Yeah.
and especially protected.
But I think we better figure something out because the Heritage Pond is probably gonna have some of those same issues.
That's all been declared non-wetlands.
What?
Yeah,
When did that, oh,
yeah, they came
When
back.
we first started, that was one of the big reasons why we went ahead with pond over there instead of just a retention area.
yeah,
Is because when DNR studied it, they declared that was kind of a natural drainage way
Yes.
all the way down.
correct.
And they said 0% wetlands.
Oh,
So we dodged a massive bullet with that one.
yeah. I think so.
So hopefully, yes, pond should look nice.
The only thing you can really do is you trade wetlands rights, right? So the city would have to buy wetland rights somewhere else, and then that could, if that works, but that is, they come at a premium, because as there are guys who do that for a living, they just
Oh, yeah.
broker wetland rights, so.
Okay.
We
But
can,
it, I mean, it,
we can reach out to Dan and ask him, I mean, that's.
yeah,
You never know if that one regulation you don't know about, like, all I can think of is just a house that was burned down where it was like, oh, you can get a one-time exception because what was it, like asbestos or something, but if you do like,
Yes.
like a burn exercise in a single-family residential, don't quote me, there was like an exception to that, might just be here too, I'll look into it.
The other thing, I don't know if it falls under the park board or the city, but the walking path on the north side, I don't know if you guys have been on that lately. There's a spot where the concrete's deep, probably an inch and a half. It's a major trip hazard.
Okay.
It's right
on the north side of the,
yeah, it's right between my lot and my neighbor.
okay,
So,
On the north side?
yeah, the storm drain from the street goes down there. I think, Midco hit that when they put the line through there because last spring it was kind of bubbling up out of there. So now I think, the concrete's even right there. So that should really be fixed.
I will have Mr. Chad take a look at that. Good. Okay. Anything else under open comments? All right. New business, the only thing I really had was, as Tobias already explained, we're trying to put a real ordinance on the books for a Parks Board. We've had a Parks Board forever. It's just never been anything official. There's nothing on the books for it. So, defining a quorum and all that good stuff. Hopefully we may have something for the meeting next week, but, right? Meeting next week?
Yep, next week,
Yeah.
Monday.
So
It will be nice.
until then, and like kind of as Tobias said, I mean, I'm, what we kind of had drafted up, what Tobias put together was just kind of what the Parks Board has been, in more of an advisory role, but defining, I think we were looking for like 7 people on it kind of thing, with representation from the council, which would be good. So, but having instead of it being run by me, there will be a president of that board, and they will kind of be somewhat autonomous, more than any like spending authority or anything like that, but, yeah, so more, like I said, more of an advisory capacity, where the day-to-day stuff will get handled by the office. So, we are still looking for more members once we make this official. Tobias made some attempted contact at people's whose emails we had from the past about interest. We got a couple back. We got a couple of not interested anymore back. I thought it would be really beneficial if we could get somebody from the Ball Association to join up. Todd represents kind of the football guys, and so it'd be nice to have that tie-in as well. But we're going to be looking for some more folks to help out. But yeah, until we get there, just a couple of updates on stuff that's going on. We had the park cleanup day, or the citywide cleanup last weekend. Went really well. A lot of people took advantage of that. Seems like I went down there tonight. The parking lot seems to have been cleaned up from all the sticks and everything else. So we're in good shape there. We had our first varsity softball game down there. I forgot about it. And, I'm 3 blocks away from the park. I could hear the yelling from my house.
Me too.
So I took off and went down there to see. They had a pretty good sized crowd. I was impressed. A lot of the high school kids came to watch their classmates play, and Yeah, so I'm real encouraged. That's some good, it's early. I mean, it's early. The baseball teams have just really gotten full swing into practice. There is a tournament next weekend.
It's May,
There's a 2 weeks away yet.
I think it's 2 weeks
2.
away.
Yeah. So
I think is it Mother's Day weekend? Yes, it is. I think it's Mother's February, the 14th and the 15th. I know where to find it.
So that's coming up. I went and walked on the fields tonight on my way home from work. They're in really great shape down there. We're ready for some ball games. So Chad and the other staff at the city have done a really nice job getting things ready to go. So other than that, we had a rather unfortunate tipping over of the water fountain in Sunset Park. Chad said wind. I'm not sure if I believe wind blew it over, but it was laying on its side. There were some broken welds. So Emilius is welding that up for us to make it a little more stout. So that'll be great. And the mayor and I are working on a pretty decent donation coming for the parks. So I'm not going to say any more about it until we're ready, but it's a big, there's some real cool coming. So
Is this private?
yes,
It's May 13th and 14th
yes.
is the tournament.
Other than that, if you get some time and have a means to do so, go take a look at the pond. It's really taken shape. It's pretty close to what it's going to look like. All I've heard from anybody that has sent down there to look at it is it's a lot bigger than they thought it was going to be. It's nearly 4 acres of surface water. It's a big pond, and there's enough areas that will be in excess of 15-ish foot deep. So Game Fish and Parks will stock it next summer. They will put the fish, they have a pier built to install down there. Probably won't put it in this summer. We will be working on seating and everything else around it. But next summer, we should have a fishing pier and some fish in the water, and it'll be coming along real nice. So that's forthcoming. And then we'll have until end of next year for the playground equipment. Is that right?
Yep.
So we have the grant for the playground equipment for over there. We had 2 years to spend it, right?
Yep, until 2024.
Yeah.
That's that. Agreements are forthcoming.
Yep.
So,
So that'll be nice to get, there's going to be quite a bit of building in there this summer. And by the time those folks are ready to move in, there should be some playground equipment down there, and we'll be in nice shape. We are kind of on a holding pattern. The commercial area to the north, Parks Department is going to get 15 acres, I think it is, up there. Really don't know what we're going to do with it yet. So for the foreseeable future, it will probably just be seeded and mowed. But there's some ideas. We have discussed the idea of like an archery park up there, and Game Fish and Parks would jump into that with 2 feet to give us funding to make that happen. So there's some possibilities up there, but yeah. Other than that, short term, the parking lots at the 2 non-paved parking lot parks, they'll have the dust mitigation stuffs put down this week, and other than that, we're full swing for ball games. Like I said, everything else is going pretty good. We did turn the water on up at New Hope Park. We've been anxiously watching the temperatures the last couple of mornings because we don't need anything freezing up there, but so far so good. Then we're gonna go, I'm gonna meet Chad up there later this week, and we're just kind of gonna do a down and dirty assessment of the concession stand and bathrooms. The ball teams have done a lot of work on the inside of the concession stand, painting and upkeep and stuff. So we're gonna take a look at the outside, the bathrooms, and we're replacing some lights down there already. We had a ballast go bad on one of them, so we're gonna up the 2 lights that are on the shelter and upgrade those to LEDs and do that right away. So lots of little things going on, but 'tis the season, so I don't know. Got anything?
No. Archery, yeah, I had heard also that there was a request.
Yep.
For the park on the north end to be archery and more about, I don't know if you want to say wildlife, but just more nature.
Yeah.
Nature friendly.
I've, oddly enough, since we've started reviving the Parks Board thing, I've been getting some more communication from the community on park-related things. Big ask was a dog park.
Well, maybe that's something that can be
Possibly.
included up there also.
Pocket park, make that a dog park.
Possibly. So, anyway, that's just some of the things I've heard, but, yeah. I didn't have anything for old business or anything else, so. Anybody got anything else they want to add for the good of the order? Well, I'd take a motion to adjourn then.
So moved.
I'll second that. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, we're adjourned. Doesn't feel right. All at once.
It was short and sweet.